Hi everybody, it's Amy at Crafty Cat. Today we're going to just play. It's not any specific project or anything like that. Just playing with some scraps because I've had a lot of people asking how I did the little papers and things that I used for the steampunk journal. You know, the stuff like this where it's stamped and splattered and all that. And this is Louisa Heinzel's idea. She does it a little different than I do, but you know, we all kind of do stuff different, so it's not like anybody's right or wrong. It's just I do it a little different, so but very much similar. So anyways, to make things, you know, like this type of thing with your scraps so that you can use them in your projects, and it just adds a little something extra. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to play around with this stuff. And this is just newsprint, like packing paper stuff. And just all this jazz here. So we'll start with the newsprint, I think. And, you know, eventually I'll fill this up, so hopefully there won't be so much glare. It's just, this is a box that I made to do this in. I had to toss my other one out because it started to get kind of stinky. And I think it's because the cardboard keeps getting wet and wet and wet, and yeah, they just get kind of funky, so you got to throw them out. So this time I used, it's a really big kind of Amazon box. I cut all the flaps off. It's only about, you know, that deep. It's not like super deep. You may want a deeper one. I may end up wanting a deeper one, but when I'm filming, I can't have one that's like super deep. I guess I can back up a little bit because, you know, the camera. So anyhow, and then I took another piece of cardboard, put it across the bottom because there's the big lips of the, you know, the edges of the flaps. And I didn't want to have to deal with that with my paper, so I took a bigger piece of cardboard, this white cardboard, to put it in here, and then just put tape over it to hopefully make it last a little bit longer at least. I know it's not going to like last forever or anything, but that's the goal. I already have ink on me because that's what I do. So what we're gonna do is just, I have this melamine. You could use, you know, the plastic on here, anything plastic for your distress inks or oxides. I'm using distress oxides. This one is the Mermaid Lagoon. I have Wilted Violet. I have a spray in Salty Ocean. I have some gold ink, just, you know, some different stuff, and we're just going to play around and mark, make, and do all that fun stuff. So how you guys doing? I hope you're doing fabulous. It's just water. Yeah, hope you're doing really good. I'm doing okay. I've had a little bit of a situation that's been brewing for a while, and I've just been sort of hoping it would go away, but like a lot of problems, they don't go away. And so I've been advised not to accept any more Happy Mail until things are all resolved. So I won't be accepting any Happy Mail. If you send me anything, and I'm not trying to be mean to anybody, if you send me anything, it will just be returned to sender. So just, I mean, don't waste your money is what I'm basically saying. Thank you, thank you. I love all of you, and I appreciate you so much. And I know most of you just have the best, kindest intentions in the whole wide world and want to share goodies and whatever. And I love getting them. But for now, I'm just not going to be accepting any Happy Mail at all. And I can't go into any detail or talk about anything. So anyways, I just wanted to tell you, don't send me anything because I'll just have to send it back to you, and that would be super sad. So I don't want to be doing that. So but thank you, and thank you for your consideration and kindness and understanding during this time. So anyhow, I'm taking this piece of paper and I'm going to go lay it out to dry. And then what I'll do is I'll get the ones that we make dry, and then I'll come back after they're dry and we're going to do something else with them. So I have a shower curtain from the dollar store behind me, and I'm just, you know, putting those pieces right on that. Though any wet pieces. This is just regular old copy paper scrap bits that I have from the Etsy shop. So, yeah, someone said you'll probably get Alice in Wonderland books because I mentioned I don't have any, somehow don't have an Alice in Wonderland book in Happy Mail, and I'm like, sadly it can't. Can't accept it. So yeah, just don't bother. But I thank you guys. You guys are awesome, and I thank you for all your kindness and support always, always. And wanting to send stuff, because that is so super duper kind of you. All right, so I think this one needs a little bit more pink, but I like that, even though that was just mop up, right? It still is fun. Oh, you know what else I wanted to try? Hold on, I'll try it on this one. I put some stuff in my pockets. I went into the garage and pilfered from my husband, just some screws and stuff. And I'm just gonna put, I think I'll do paint, because I think that will work the best for this. So this is just regular old acrylic. Laguna is what this one is. Just put a little in there. I don't need like tons. Actually, that's probably enough, because I'm going to add some water. It's pretty thick. I don't use it a lot, so it's thickened up a lot. And we're just going to all these little guys around in here. Sorry if that's noisy. I've seen people do things like this, and I just think it's interesting, so I'm going to try it. I don't know if it'll work. That looks pretty thinned out, huh? Maybe we could just add a little bit of spray to it and see what we get. And then you just kind of plunk and try to get them to roll a little bit. Ooh, yeah, see? Because then you can get my favorite, right? You can get circles. That one's cool. So just playing, like I said, this is the first time I've done this with these. So yeah, this is all new to me too. And you know, every bit of it isn't going to be super great, but I really like the circles that it makes for sure. Yeah, I keep doing that. I want it to just get over there a little bit, but it wants to go wacky. Oh yeah. Okay, so that's enough of that for now. Let's see what else we can do. I can see how it would be better, more screws, and because that way maybe if you put them in different places, like, well, I guess I'll try it over here. Let's get this out of here. So I guess if you wiggle the box, maybe. The little ones aren't doing anything. I like that one the best, so I need a bunch of those. Because they come out the best, right? All right, so now, okay, I'll stop. But that's fun. So you could definitely make some fun marks with that. Another thing you can do is, like I use the bottom of this a lot, which you can see it's got black ink on it. So you can either put it on a stamp pad, put it directly into paint like I'm doing. That's actually probably an easier way than the screws, but I had to give it a try. I do like how it does that perfect sort of concentric thing. So that's pretty awesome. Let's do some purple. So see, I mean, this is just fun. You can have fun doing it, but then these can really add a lot to a background or you know, when you're making a piece, you're like, I just need that little something that's got like color and some texture and whatever. And I'm wiping it off too because I don't want that blue in my purple. And these ones are cool because they're going to bleed a little bit because it's wet enough. But yeah, it's just going to give you, you know, a little something extra when you're making things. I'm going to use this is my little glue bottle. You know what else is cool? I saw somebody do and I was like, genius. Like, why didn't I ever think of that? They put paint in these and did designs. So that's another genius idea. In fact, maybe I'll get one of those and do that. Because why didn't I ever think of that? Don't you hate that? Oh, I just got the green on there because I forgot to wipe this off. All right, I think that's good on the circles, right? And then when we stamp, that'll be another layer on top of that, and that will just be good. I can wipe this off, probably, most likely. And it'll be fine. And then if we wanted to, this is my little tea that I have. This bottle is really ridiculous. I'll just put a couple dots because it bleeds out a lot. Okay, that's enough of that. That's where I just wiped the purple pad off and now I've got it everywhere. Okay, so I'm going to put this one down and we'll get these one dry. So this is really kind of a lot like, say, what do you call it? I can't think of it. Oh my gosh, Amy. The silicone mat, you know, then you put the print on and rub it and peel it. I cannot think of it, you guys. Oh, my brain. I'm telling you. Anyhow, y'all know what I'm talking about. It's sort of like doing that, just a different version. And you can fill up a whole box. Like, I thought that bunny would be fun because it's a hare. And that's a stamp I have by Iozier. I'm not totally positive I'm pronouncing that right, so I apologize. But they're great stamps, and it's a hare, so I thought it'd be fun for the Alice in Wonderland journal, right? But you can fill up a whole box, is what I was going to say, and then I got totally sidetracked. And then spray them, flip them, do all that stuff. This is how I do it a little different than Louisa Heinzel, just because I'm kind of a control freak, and I like to have a little bit more control over what's going where. But they do look awesome when you just go for it. So if you like to do, like, you're more comfortable with that, do that. What's on there? Because I want to see those kiddos over there. Okay. I think we'll do some more. This is iridescent paint that I just painted onto paper. I think I had it left over from a project and I just painted it onto paper. That's why it's shiny. Which that's another super fun thing. You could do the same thing, just anything. Paints, inks, like you don't have to use inks. If all you have is some distress oxides, you can use those. You could use alcohol ink. You can make your own alcohol ink with like food dyes and rubbing alcohol. Spirits, everybody calls it something different, of course, because why would we all call it the same thing? So yeah, anyway, that set of stamps is great, and I'll try to remember to link it. I'm not going to make any promises on that, but just tell me, and I'll link it. I'm trying really hard to remember that stuff, but I'm really not very good at it sometimes. My biggest problem is if I do a video Friday for Monday, By the time I make the video, say on Sunday night or whatever, can't remember anything, I'm telling you. It's bad. Like, I was going to put Joey Card Maker on my Monday video. Hi, Joey. And because I used his cabinet cards and totally spaced it. So luckily I remembered very shortly after it posted, and so I got it in there. But I'm like, you were a ding dong. Like, you used his cards. That was the whole video. Like, you know, give the guy his props, for crying out loud. It's not personal, believe me. I'm just not always with it, especially by Sunday night. Okay, so this is another thing. You can just go around and like pick up color. Plus it helps your papers dry faster if you get rid of some of the water on each piece, right? I'll give that one lots of color. And also the backs, you can pick up, you know, this was just a white doily, so you could take just doilies, you know, white doilies, and do this with them. That would be great. Let's see. Oh, I know, I want to do one of those bingo cards. I'm going to take some of these out and put them on my shower curtain. I think these will be super fun for this Alice in Wonderland journal, though. Feel free to fast forward. That's the only thing. It is a little slow with having to remove them. That was cool. So mopping up can be just as good as the original laying down of the colors, right? Let me take this little guy. And then you can also use things like this. This was a punch that I have. I think it's by EK Success. Right, of course, it's at the very bottom of the bin. I think that's it. Yeah, EK Success, and it's just those little doodads. And I got that on Amazon. I think they still have them. I don't know. It's been a while. But that's another texture thing that's great to layer and have kind of sticking out, you know, from underneath something else, because you can rough up those little perforated edges and get a nice, just like I said, bit of texture off of that. I make a big fat mess. I'm awful, and I don't take the best care of my supplies. So I'm sure I'm making many of you cringe. But mixed media is, for the most part, a mess. Like, I honestly just don't know what else to say. You're going to get messy, you're going to get inky, you're going to get all the stuff. Because that's just how it is. So if you're not into that, this may not be the project for you. Because it isn't for everybody. And you gotta do what works best for you. Okay. So I am gonna get these bits dry that we have. I might do a couple more on my own. I think you guys get the idea of just putting down the inks or paints or whatever. Plus we can get rid of some of this glare. And then I will be right back. Okay, so I'm back. And I did a couple of bingo cards as well. Everything's mostly dry, a little bit wet, and I did a couple of doilies. And there's that, I don't remember if I did this one with you guys. I don't think I did. It's a piece of sewing pattern instructions and a little trim there. This one I think is my favorite with that iridescent paint underneath. It just, the colors are so vibrant. So I like that piece. And then I did a guest check, and these ones you guys saw. Oh, here's a little slide. And these. And this one's not my favorite. This is the one that we did with the rolling screws. But I think once I stamp on it and you're just using torn off bits, it'll be fine. So think about that when you're making these. If you get them and you're like, oh, I don't really like that. Once you stamp on it and you tear it and stuff to add to something as a background, and these were mostly just blotter papers, but anyway, they'll still be fun to stamp and whatever. Just don't get tied up in looking at this whole piece because you're gonna only be using sections of it. So that's just something to think about. I don't know. I think I'll start with this one just because I probably should put a piece of paper or something under here. Just so that if I stamp off, it's not, you know, getting all over my table. All right, so I have chosen, where did I put them? This is the bunny stamp, and it's Aozier Designs, Nature Stamps. And she's on YouTube, so if you look her up, you should be able to find it, but I will try to link her shop. Now, I don't know what she has still in stamps. I know that she's done other groupings of stamps, but I just don't know because I haven't been over there in a while. So you just have to go have a peek and see what you find. So I think I'm going to use black on this one. Some of them I might use the Distress Oxides for. This is, I can never remember the name of this company either, and I don't even have the package anymore. Iron Orchid, I believe, is what it's called. Design, Iron Orchid Design. They mostly do decorative designs, and the stamps are bigger than a lot of other stamps, but I just love the scrolly kind of ironwork look, you know, that you get with them. So yeah, definitely worth checking out. I believe it's Iron Orchid. Sorry, that's the problem. I get rid of packaging and then I'm like, that wasn't very smart. But I should probably have a page to stamp off on. Okay, what else could we put on there? A teapot would be good. So, you know, when I do this, I may end up just tearing out the teapot or just a little section of that. You know what I mean? So you're not necessarily, don't get tied up in the whole page and what it looks like, because it might be different than that. Okay, turned out pretty good. I thought I had like some roses would be good. I like this bow too. It has a definite Alice in Wonderland look about it, right? And I got these just in a, it was like a craft magazine and it came in the back. I don't know. It's kind of weird, but that's where I got them. Some of these things I have had, oh darn, that didn't print so good. I didn't get it pushed down all the way. Some of these I've had forever. I know a block would be better. I'm so horrible. But I don't always want the whole thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just want the illusion of it, I guess you would say. Okay. Use a little bit more of this. just might want like, let's see, let's use one of these. Just whatever crazy marks you want to make, really. I mean, there's no rule on, you know, what you can use. You can use anything that you have. Because like I said, it's going to get torn up. So you're just going to get bits and parts. Okay, so that one is good. So I'm going to just let it get dry. And then we'll add the splatters at the end. So let's see, let's find another one. I'm going to do this one. Some butterflies. This one I will put on a block because otherwise I will get my fingers entirely black. Oops. And these little things are kind of cool too. I might want to use some of the colored pink here. Ick. The wind is just kicking out there. It blew so hard all night. It kept me awake. It drives me crazy when it does that. Trying to figure out how to put it on my block. So maybe I'll do a better job of stamping with it. Oh, I didn't dab it off first. Rookie mistake there, and now I got black on my stamp pad. That's better. All right, that's enough of those. Let's do some teacups. One's not bad. I need to wipe that off now because I got black on there. That's the one good thing. They do wipe off pretty easily. I mean, obviously, it's better not to do that. But if you do, you can generally get it off and it's fine. That's a cool teacup. We could also do like, where am I? I'm going to be at every color of the rainbow by the time I'm done. Mostly black, though, apparently, because I, you know, can't ever not make a big mess. So those would be fun to make. You could make a bunch of them, like Bonkers or whatever, because I think most of us do have those little itty-bitty letters. You know, it's just one of those things that you end up with along the way. If you've been doing it for a while, if you haven't, then you may not. But I know in scrapbooking for a while there, that was all the rage, was those little tiny letters like that. But if you're just starting your paper journey, then you may not have. They are easy to find. I like to use just portions of these Tim Holtz ticket stamps because they're just kind of interesting. Like that. Let's do some of these in a color. If they'll stick. Those are thoroughly abused. They get used a lot. Those little splatters. And I'm, you know, going over stuff that's already been stamped and whatever. It doesn't matter because, again, we're tearing this up. And that's just something you got to keep reminding yourself. Because I know it gets like you're trying to create some cool thing. Like you would if you were making a gift card or something. But you're just trying to get some design on there so that it's interesting as a background. Okay, so that one's good, I think. Set that up here. Move these out of the way for the moment. I do like these swirls with the birds and stuff, so I think I'll use one of those. I've had these forever. Autumn leaves. I have no clue if that's something you can even get anymore. These are really old. You can probably tell by the color. Isn't it weird how stamps do that? From the black ink is what causes that. I mean, they kind of yellow over time anyway, but the black ink really gets it going. Now, again, this would come out a lot better on a block. Don't have a ton of those, so big ones especially. But see, that came out good. I mean, it's real piecey, but I kind of like that, so. I'm doing these bees from Augier. Pulled out the wrong bit. Okay, I guess we're gonna crinkle. Sorry, I thought that would come out, but it's stuck in there. Of course. So we can make tons of noise and break your eardrums. These are really good stamps too, by the way. She draws them all herself, so that makes them even kind of neater, you know what I mean? Very artistic. And this is just another stamp I've had forever. But you can make a lot of these same marks with just, you know, using a paintbrush or anything that will make a mark is really the trick, because you're just gonna tear it up and use it for other things. So this is how I do it anyway. And now I'm going to take the ones I've done, and of course I have more to stamp, but I'm not going to, you guys get it. You're not going to want to sit here for me stamping all these little bits of paper. But let me move these out of the way, because we're going to bring back our box. So I can do some splattering. I'll have to wash all these because they have both black and Distress Oxide on them, so they're a mess. That wind, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but wow, it is whipping out there. Look at my paper towel. I can even use that too. Once it dries, you can use it like almost like cheesecloth or something. A good thing. This will be quick at least. We don't need these in here. We need one to put some paint on. So I think I'll do some white splotches and whatever. Oh, it went very dark, sorry. If I don't keep this light right over the top, everything goes sideways. I apologize for that. I hope that wasn't dark the whole time. I have so many lights right here too. I don't know how it could possibly be dark, but it is. I'm sure someone would tell me it's the kind of light, which is probably true. And probably this white, because this is just gesso. You can use acrylic paint though too, but it will pick up some of the colors because that's just what it does. So it probably won't stay super white. I mean, you might have some spots that do, but a lot of them will probably turn whatever color in the background you got going on. Especially with the Distress Oxides, because they do react with water. So yes, you get a lot more done if you do a big, huge box and you just, you know, flip everything around and all that, but I just like to have more control over what I'm getting on my pages. So it's totally up to you how you want to do it. It don't make no difference to me. This is just how I like to do it. So I have my Winsor & Newton silver ink. All I would say is have fun doing it. That's what matters. And then these will dry, and then we can start using them. Tearing them up. It's kind of crazy when you think about it, right? You got all this effort and time, but it really does add something. And I just loved doing that last journal. It was really a lot of fun to add that bit of just not the papers that I have or whatever. It really adds something. It adds more of that artistic feel, I feel like. So I don't know. What do you guys think? I think it just adds something to it. But and then I take and clean off my brushes on scraps of paper too, because you can use that. And I'll probably also take that gesso there and put it on some paper too. So you can do those things, and then you can put the gesso on a scrap of paper too and run it through your embossing machine. That's how I get that embossed paper. Like this was a scrap of a ledger. It was bigger than this when I did it, but I just painted gesso on there, ran it through in one of my embossing folders, my Big Shot, and it gives you that emboss, almost like plastered paper or something like that. So it's kind of a cool effect. So anyway, I hope this was helpful. I've had a lot of questions about how to do these type of things because we have a lot of new people. So thank you so much for joining me, and thank you to the people who have followed me for a long time, and I hope maybe this just gave you some inspiration or an idea that you haven't tried before. So anyways, I will chat with you guys again tomorrow. Love you guys. Bye.